The worst of the flooding in western Washington may have eased, but as the swollen rivers recede, the long and dirty work of recovery and cleanup begins.
Water at its height was up to here.
For Sandy Froning and her son, who run a small dairy farm on the banks of the Skycomish River, flooding is nothing new.
You guys are okay. We've been through a lot of floods. This is not our first rodeo, but this is probably the most tree damage and mud we've ever had.
The water rose more than 2 meters, swamping their fields and basement, threatening this family's livelihood.
This is how we pay our bills. I mean, this has been a dairy farm, since 1875. We farm, and this is how we make a living, barely.
They were able to move their cows to higher ground just in time, but when the water finally dropped, it left behind thick mud, debris, and a lot of work. For 2 days in a row, neighbors and even strangers showed up to help.
Just like anybody in need, when there's something that happens, you want to show up for them. There's so much cleanup that has to be done.
For Sandy and her son, it made all the difference.
We had a mini excavator here, people with shovels and pitchforks and anything that could move stuff.
With the stalls cleared out, they were able to bring the cows back, letting Sandy breathe a sigh of relief.
We know without a doubt that we don't stand alone. The burden is shared. That makes all the difference.
The historic flooding brought devastation to rural communities across western Washington, inundating properties and forcing thousands to evacuate. One lifeline was the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe. It opened free emergency stabling, taking in hundreds of animals out of flooded coops and barns. Daniel Taylor, who brought goats and chickens from his animal sanctuary, says this was a blessing.
They gave me this hay, and they gave me bedding, and they gave me feed. And they said, the animals can be here as long as needed. We got you, and that feels good.
But many here are still worried about what comes next. Terrence Sweeney had to leave the RV he'd been living in when he got a mandatory evacuation alert on his phone. He's been staying at this American Red Cross shelter but doesn't know when or if he can return.
And so I don't know if my RV is even still there. Is it floated? Is there water damage? I have no idea. Honestly, I don't want to stay here anymore, but I don't know if I have anything to go back to.
A new atmospheric river is forecast for the Pacific Northwest. It's not expected to be as intense, but authorities warn even moderate rain could push rivers back up again. And with the ground already saturated, it could also increase the risk of mudslides and flooding. Roza Kazan, CGTN, Snohomish County, Washington.